All right, so next couple of minutes here, we're going to talk about secure infrastructure, the path to cyber resilience here in the digital arena. It's all about making sure that the infrastructure is secure, that it's complete, that it's ready to go. So, I've got Anthony Grieco here in the studio with me today. How you doing today, Anthony?
Spectacular, Steve. How are you doing?
Good, good. I'm so glad that you had a chance to join us. I know your schedule is crazy packed, so thank you for taking a couple of minutes here. So, Anthony is Trust Strategy Officer for the Security and Trust Organization for us here at Cisco. Anthony, Europe is digitizing at such an incredibly rapid rate. It's all about expanding economic growth, more job creation, more global competitiveness. Terrific, right? But cyber attackers? Blink, they see this huge monetary, this political opportunity to really exploit the digital expansion that's happening all around them. So here at Cisco, we talk about the best way to secure the critical infrastructure, and that it's to collaborate with the right partner. We're egotistical, we believe it's us here at Cisco, but is the network infrastructure truly under attack today by your view?
100% it is, Steve. I mean, there's really something fundamental that you've got to understand is our customers are digitizing at a rate, as you described, to grow jobs in their business, many other things. And as they digitize, they're putting more and more emphasis on the network. The network is becoming even more critical to the business, to the economy, to the growth of industry and countries overall. Attackers see that, and as they see that, they're going after that infrastructure as a critical component to where they're going to go from an adversarial perspective. We've seen very active threats from the adversaries in this space. So for instance, the Mirai botnet recently was modified to go after and attack home routers. That's a piece of infrastructure, networking infrastructure. We've also seen, unfortunately, enterprise customers that have been infected with malware that runs on routers. So this is evidence, and we see it increasing, of the emphasis that attackers are going to place on that infrastructure.
And this is so interesting, right? Because it used to be more of a scattershot approach. It's becoming application specific, isn't it?
Absolutely, and as adversaries go from the endpoint into the infrastructure, the impact that they can have is really tremendous. So you think about how important the network is to every application. And so adversaries will see that and see the network as a prime target to not impact just one application or steal one flow of data, but instead to infect the whole and impact the whole business overall.
Definitely, you know, I want to go back. I heard a great quote from Rowan this morning during the keynote, and I mentioned it in the first segment, but he said that we've really got to take not just an intelligent application approach to security, but security can't be an afterthought. It now has to be part of every single thing we build. How do we do that? How do we actually make it native to the construction of the application or capability?
Rowan's spot on, and it really is reflective of what Cisco's been focused on for the past 8 to 10 years. We've been focused on Cisco's secure development lifecycle as a way that we build security, trust, data protection, and privacy into every aspect of what we do from a company perspective. So whether it's a product manager writing the requirements for a new product, a great new invention that we've got, to the developer writing the code, to the tester testing it, manufacturing, creating the product, software, building the software, delivering out to our customers, all of that has to have thought process built into it around how do you think about security, data protection, privacy, and ultimately trust within it. And Cisco's been doing that for a number of years. It's really critical to think about it in that holistic and built-in way.
It's interesting, it's a really comprehensive approach, but I think it really highlights what all of us are doing here at this show, right? We're surrounded by not only users, but by partners, by developers, and it takes a global approach to solve these types of problems. We're not going to do it independently. At Cisco, we are not an island. We rely on everyone else to take part in this type of development and get the industry where we need to go, right?
Absolutely, and there's a couple of really critical points that you just hit on that I think are worth expanding on. First, it's not just about security people doing security things. It's about everybody being a part of the security conversation. So whether you're any one of the functional areas of building a product or in finance or HR or anywhere, you have a role to play in security, and understanding what that is, teaching folks what that is, and sharing what that is really critical. And that's one of the roles that my team does, and in fact shares with our customers globally. We can't solve this problem by ourselves. We like to think that we're leading in this space, and indeed we've got a bunch of things that we share with our customers as best practices and the ways that we have instituted secure development life cycles and security, trust, data protection, privacy throughout everything that we're doing. And that's in fact what we do, is share with the industry and share with our customers and share with our partners. In fact, here I've been meeting with so many of our customers, top power providers, top financial institutions from around the world, and talking to them, just sharing what we're doing as a company in order to help them get better, and frankly, we also learn from that interaction as well.
It's really exciting. All right, so let's start to get actionable here on a little bit. What types of cyber attacks do you think are the biggest threats to enterprise networks right now? So what do people need to be looking out for in the primary, right? It's a whole list of things. What are maybe the top 2 or 3 things that we have to be looking out for?
So there's the first thing that you want to do is make sure when you're running a network infrastructure, it goes back to basics of security and been around as long as information security overall. Do you know what you're defending? Do you know what your network infrastructure is? Do you have any idea who has access to it, so good access controls? And are you keeping it patched? So a network itself is software and hardware running together, running software, so you need to keep up with those things in the same way that you've been doing on endpoints and other stations. We see many customers, frankly, lagging in that conversation. And when you're not doing those things, you're creating a very fertile ground for adversaries to come in and use known exploits, easy access with credential stealing and things like that to take down or cause damage to your network as a result.
Is it a visibility problem? Is it that people just don't know what they've actually got to work with, and they don't know, even when the data flows in, they don't know what to do with it?
So it's a perfect comment, because ultimately most of the customers that I talk to today can't give you a definitive list of what their network infrastructure is. And that in and of itself is a fundamental problem. And so it is a visibility issue. Ultimately, there's a lot of things that Cisco is doing. Many of the solutions that we're launching here at Cisco Live, as well as outside, are really helping give our customers better tools to do that management and capabilities, to build automation and simplification into the process that gives them those capabilities, but ultimately, that visibility is a fundamental challenge today.
Great, all right, so we have to start taking some action now, right? That's a logical next step. If there is one thing that we can all start doing today to begin protecting the network infrastructure, where do we start? What is the one thing that can launch anybody into it, even if they've seen it as too much of a challenge or they haven't been successful up till this point?
So I think, when I think about that one thing, I think it needs to be a strategic thing. Okay. And that strategic thing is starting to demand that the network infrastructure that you're deploying out inside of your enterprise is built with trust in mind. And so that is, every customer should be challenging us as a company. What have you done to build security into the development process? What have you done to build security into the manufacturing process, logistics, all of those sorts of things. So the thing that I would ask a customer to do, and I ask every customer to do it, is challenge us. Challenge everyone you're doing business with in the digital age. What are you doing to build security in at the beginning, as Rowan said? That's the one thing that will begin that systemic change that's necessary in order to increase the security of the infrastructure, increase the security of the applications, and overall the IT solutions that we're deploying.
Starts with conversation, starts with an open mind, starts with taking advantage of being in a place like this where you can walk up to somebody and you can say, okay, help me. Absolutely. I need the help. A lot of people don't even want to ask for it, and I think that's such a problematic thing. I want to talk about Cisco Trustworthy Systems.
Sure.
Okay, not necessarily a product that our customers have to buy. This is something that we offer to them. Why don't you explain a little bit so that people understand what that's all about?
Yeah, so Cisco Trustworthy Systems is really the foundational security capabilities that we've been building into our products for years. And it really starts to make sure that at a piece by piece, device by device, and then network by network level, you can fundamentally trust what those devices are doing. So, if you think about 15 or 20 years ago, and legacy, either applications or networking devices, those things didn't have fundamental security capabilities that we know are necessary in today's adversarial environment. Take something like code signing, image signing. If I've got a piece of software and I don't know who developed it, then I fundamentally may or may not be able to trust it. Code signing is an example of something that tells you, hey, Cisco developed this piece of software. And so that's an example of something that comes as a part of Cisco's Trustworthy Systems. We do tons of things that really build a foundation of security into our products. Secure boot, tamper-resistant identities, all sorts of things that at a foundational level build security into the products and services that we're delivering. And so if you hear things like the intuitive network and ACI and all of these sorts of things, all of these capabilities that we're delivering here as a part of Cisco are really built on that foundation. And that foundation gives those services and capabilities that we've got on top of it that we're enabling and empowering our customers with, gives them the confidence and trust to know that the product is doing what they expect it to do, hasn't been hacked by an adversary, and has the right foundational capabilities to live in the world that we live in today, which is one where adversaries are coming after the network infrastructure.
Absolutely. Anthony, this has been great. People are going to be able to hear your panel that's happening this afternoon. Good luck here throughout the week. I hope you're able to reach out and connect with as many people as possible. Tell them this story. Let them know that we are here and available to them. All they have to do is come up and say, hey, help me out. I'm ready to make that leap forward, and Cisco is here to help you get where you need to be.
Thanks for the opportunity, Steve. I appreciate it.
Really appreciate that. Thank you, Anthony, and thanks to all of you for tuning in as well. We're going to take a very brief break, but we'll be right back here in the studio. Don't go away.